He's the Democratic candidate for mayor in the city of Danbury, recently endorsed by the Democratic Town Committee. Our pal Roberto Alves joins the show. What's up, Roberto?
Hey, Roberto.
Gentlemen, how are you guys?
We're good. We are good. Look, listen to that sound.
Happy anniversary. Let me get that out real quick.
Oh, thanks.
He's making a lot of mistakes already, Roberto.
What are you talking about?
Oh,
what have you
really?
been married? 3 years?
No, I don't even know.
Okay, there
you go.
There we go.
Making the mistakes, guys.
That's a problem. All right.
My anniversary's coming up, but I am ready.
You're an idiot.
Unlike you, pal. Roberto, what's going on? So last week was a big week in the city. We had the announcement from Dean Esposito right out in front of City Hall that he would run for mayor of the city of Danbury. When did you hear about it? What did you think about the announcement?
Oh, yeah. Danbury's a city with a lot of rumors and small towns. You hear things. So we kind of were expecting Dean to be the candidate, and we knew that was going to be the announcement. Listen, I welcome Dean to the race, just like I said to another media outlet. Dean is a nice guy. A lot of people like him. I think we're going to come at this with different ideas and different perspectives. We're both Danbury guys. I'm not going to be out Danbury. I'll put that right out there. We can go ahead and put monikers and call people Danbury this, Danbury that. I've been in Danbury. I didn't have to move to run. But I like Dean. I think he's a good guy. He's always been a super respectful gentleman over the years. When I've met him, never had much more in a conversation. But again, welcome into the race. Love to hear the ideas, if he's going to run on the perceived successes of the last administration, or if we're going to, just move forward.
I'm glad you brought up this Danbury this and Danbury that, because I have an idea to aggravate people, because I'm Mr. Danbury myself. And
no, you're Mr. Aggravation.
Referring to me as that. We're gonna have a fake competition with Danbury nominees, and you sound like you'd be a perfect candidate. Myself, you, Dean. We'll name a bunch of people
what are we
nominated for Mr. Danbury, and then we'll announce eventually.
And what are we going to do?
That I am Mr. Danbury.
Sure.
And then just infuriate people who can't get a joke, don't get a joke,
right?
Refuse to get a joke. We're saying it on the radio, and they still won't get it.
No, they won't get it.
So we're going to have you be part of that. I'm excited about this, to tell you right now.
Let's go.
All right. So you mentioned.
Are we gonna have the sea bass though?
Seabass is in there. Seabass is one of our listeners from Brewster.
Yeah. Chilean Seabass.
Chilean Seabass is his name. So speaking of rumors, we all hear them. You said you had heard that Dean would be the candidate for the Republicans. I hear rumors myself, and I hear rumors about both parties that, out of both parties, that other candidates can emerge for both the Democrats and the Republicans. What do you say about that?
Well, again, this is an open seat race. I think people are all, open to jump in if that's what they think. This is a democratic process on either side. So, again, we welcome that, because at the end of the day, it's about putting the best idea and letting Danbury decide. I want what's best for the city. I have my ideas on how to get there. I have my ideas on what the challenges have been in the past. But I'm not in this alone. Nobody has the market cornered on the right ideas or the right perception. So if anybody else does want to jump in, I can see that. I haven't heard anything else on anybody new on our side. I do feel I am the front runner candidate on Democratic. We've been out there, and again, nobody's going to outwork me. We're out there talking to voters, getting to know people. Are excited. Just a couple Saturdays ago, we met at City Hall. I had something about I want to say it was just over 55. I'm trying to be accurate here and say over 50, but I'm confident it was over 55 volunteers out, this early in an election process, when there's no history of that in Danbury, having that many people energized, wanting to work. And we got to over 2,000 doors that day. That is such a big number. It's such a serious thing, because that's how motivated our team is to bring new leadership and new energy into Danbury.
I just want to make clear to our listening audience, I made an announcement last week that I have my first political enemy, whose name I will not reveal until I feel I need to, but I do want to make clear to the listening audience that it is not Roberto, it is not Dean either. I just wanted to make that clear while Roberto's on the show. All right? Were you worried that?
No, I don't think I was worried on the political enemy. I just, like I said, I'm a listener. I listen to you guys every once in a while. I'll send Lou a message here. I guess I got to start sending them to Ethan, because, Lou makes some comments sometimes, Ethan, that I don't know. I got to be careful here with this guy.
Yeah, I know. For 15 years, I know.
No, I'm joking. I genuinely like being on your show because, again, I understand you're just having fun, and it gives me an opportunity to speak to you, speak to your listeners, and it's just a pleasure to be on here with you guys. I really do genuinely enjoy it.
There are no questions as to what the big issues are going to be in the campaigns for both you and Dean, and when we eventually get to debates, these things will come up. You've made it clear on the show that these are two issues you want to tackle. We heard it from Dean last week, talking about education and roads in Danbury. He made those two big points. What do you have to say? Did you get a chance to read the article or hear what he had to say about both education and roads?
Yeah, of course. I read. Come on, guys. I'm an avid fan here. I listen. I read. So I got to see what he said. And here again, it's early in the race, and I'm not trying to jump into a tit for tat. But at the end of the day, Dean is the chief of staff for this administration, the previous administration. These aren't new problems. The schools haven't been full for just a year or last year. These are problems that have been brinkering, they're on the edge, right? Danbury's on a financial cliff with our schools. They're packed. Let's go and pull teachers, let's pull administrators and ask them, hey, is this a new problem? And they're going to say it's not a new problem. Our roads, the way things look around town, yes, I'm glad a lot of things are getting done. And there was a big investment in roads after the 19 election. There was also the biggest election Danbury's had in 18 years in 19. So we brought a lot of these issues to the forefront. I'm glad this administration is finally addressing some of this stuff, but too little, too late. And I don't want another 10 years of that. I don't want another 6 years of that. Danbury can't afford another 20 years of that. We need people who are going to get to work, people who are actually not going to run from the problem and say, hey, let's have this conversation and put it out there. Let's not wait till, things are on edge and people are actually talking about it when we know there's an issue. Let's bring it up. It's transparent government. Let's let people know what the issues are, bring people into the table, expand the table so everybody has a say in how our city is run.
Well, with the Democrats, your group of people, I'm sure it's come up in conversation. Your party ran Dean against Mark. What do you say about that?
Well, that was 2005. A lot of things changed after that. Shortly after that, he switched parties to work for that administration. He was employed by the administration. They put him in a position, and he's been working. He's been a city employee ever since. So we thank him for his years of service to the city. Sometimes it's not easy to work for city government. Sometimes it is, but he left the Democratic Party. And if we're going to talk strictly Democrats and Republican, the trend, maybe not in 2009, but the trend now is people leaving the Republican Party. So it's just interesting to see folks who have left the Democratic Party for the Republican Party, but then stay true through all that's going on nationally.
I like to take small, little, tiny things and blow them up into a big, big deal. And I've successfully done.
Not you.
I've successfully done this with dirt bikes and ATVs in the city of Danbury, which we all see tons of them out there. In many cases, most of these cases, we wouldn't be talking about it if they weren't illegal dirt bikes and ATVs. And over the last couple of days, the dialogue has been going crazy. And I was surprised to learn that there are actually two sides to this issue. I didn't know that there were. But people were yelling at me one way and the other while I'm saying both sides, trying to just get them upset. And people are upset. What do you say about this? I've seen you out on the streets. You and I have seen each other. And yo, what's up?
Yeah.
You have to have seen.
I was hauling my 4-wheeler in the back of my truck when I started.
You had to have seen these ATVs and dirt bikes out there. What do you say about it?
Listen, I think what we have to be is on the side of rule and order, and it's a public safety thing. I'd love to hear the conversation on the other side on what the argument is. But it is a nuisance right now because what's going on and what I've seen, just like a lot of the folks and Dean and the mayor has seen, is people riding either no helmets, running red lights on city streets, and it's just dangerous. No respect for what's going on and those around them. I live on the southern end of Danbury, right? I'm on the Reading border. It's a very wooded area right now. And we have that issue here where people ride through the woods, private property, and come in. My wife and my kids like to go for a walk. We have the Longridge Library, a nice little old schoolhouse library that's here. And I've had my wife call me and say, hey, these guys just zipped by us, and the kids were walking. If the kids turned the corner, they wouldn't have seen the kids. And can you imagine? I would have been livid just like any other parent would be, like any grandparent would be. So there's also educational purpose. So the people who think we're trying to rain on their parade of having fun, listen, it's not about that. It's about public safety and everybody else enjoying their life. There's ATV parks. There's other things. We can work with them. And if it's a matter of getting things there, let's get something on the table. But on city streets, it's just not allowed. So it comes down to enforcing our rules, enforcing our laws. And, the complaints I hear, guys, is not just ATVs and dirt bikes, which is a problem. It's also speeding. It's been an issue in Danbury for so long. We drive through Connecticut, and all three of us have been here a while. You know where you're going to slow down. You know what town you're going to go to, that you're going to look over your shoulder and know that, hey, speed limit's 25, stay 25 or don't go over 30 because I'm going to get pulled over. And you have a different respect, a different sense of, the rules and traffic. You guys talked about the ice cream trucks the other day. Well, if we had that kind of level of respect for our traffic laws in Danbury, if the police had the resources they need to enforce that, because their hands are tied with the shoestring budgets the city's been running for year in, year out over the last decade, that we can't even enforce traffic laws, quality of life issues. I don't think we'd be having a lot of these conversations.
All right. So are you ready for the Mr. Danbury competition? How do we do this? Do we do it like almost American Gladiator style, like a lot of physical competitions, like those Breakthrough and Conquer comes to mind. Remember that?
I didn't think you wanted to stack it in my favor. But I guess.
Okay, bathing suit competition. I mean, we got to really do up the theater of the mind. We all lose. Yeah.
Okay.
Listen, Roberto, unless you want to sneak something else in, we appreciate your time. Is there anything else you wanted to say before we let you go?
Oh, listen, again, I appreciate you guys. I appreciate you guys having me on here. For the listeners, those on the I-95 app, if you have any questions for me, you can go to my website, alvesfordanbury.com, alvesfordanbury.com. All our social media is Alves for Danbury. And just reach out to me. I try to get back to people as fast as I can. And I want to hear from you. This is a community, a collective effort. I'm here to represent everybody.
There you go. Look, he's blasting the appy. You didn't see that coming.
Lou, now that you're running, Lou will text you like in the middle of the night.
I've had
5 a.m.
I've
in the
had
morning.
his number for 4 or 5 months. I have it. How many times? I don't text at weird hours. Well, I do text at weird hours because I'm up at my working hours at 3 o'clock in the morning.
It's coming, Roberto.
3 p.m.
Beware. Thanks for joining us.
I'm in, guys. Listen, I saw the picture Empire Inca. You guys making power moves. That's, I understand there's a little bit of, exaggerating for the media, but if you want real power moves, you guys got to go out and have dinner with me.
I told you we would do a photo shoot.
Are you buying?
Let's see. Let's have a dinner together. If I actually like you guys, Listen, I'll pay. We're gonna have the sea bass.
There you go. It's Chilean sea bass. There you go. Roberto Alves, thanks for your time, man.
Thanks, Roberto.
Bye, guys.
Appreciate
See you
it.
later.
There you go.